Greetings to our respectful lecturer, Sir Janvin Jantang. So with the topic and our research is about customer loyal action with telco service. So the data holds key insight to predict and manage customer disloyalty. So we will analyze the factors like payment or demographic as to build the models identifying high-risk churners.
Greetings and salutations to Surgeon Vince. My name is Renjoj, and now let's begin with the introductions. So generally, this introduction we will touch about the overviews, what kind of data have been selected, and what the purpose of these assignments have to be done. So let's start with the overview. For your informations, this assignment we will focus on the telecommunications company's customer, where we will use this data to analyze the customer churns. In terms of the data, we have selected several data such as the churns, customer ID, dependence, gender, internet service, partner, payment method, phone service, senior citizen, tenure, and also the total charge. This data will become the variables to assist our analysis. And then we have the purpose. What is the purpose of this analysis? For your informations, we have the purpose where we will gonna look at the factor that cause the customer to change and or not to change. Next, let's move into the problem statement. So generally for the problem statement, we only refer into the selected data that I have mentioned earlier, such as the total charge, the internet service, phone service, the payment methods, genders, how this selected data could affect the churn. So basically, the problem will be focusing on this on the variable data that could affect whether the customer will change or not to change. So we finished for that. Now let's move into the objective, where this one will be presented by Clarence.
Thank you, Ryan. So my name is Clarence Calictus Laudi. So we move on to the objectives. As you can see, we have list 4 objectives here. To make it short, so this study seeks to look the key factors behind this customer churn in telco service, which from demographic to payment method to overall customer experience. So by the end of the objective, we will do predictive model to identify the optimal approach in this telco service.
Moving on with the literature review, SI briefly in short for the telecommunication industry has undergone significant transformation, making customer retention crucial. The several key studies highlights that the customer satisfaction is fundamental to loyalty and reducing churn. Satisfaction leads to loyalty, impacting customers' intention to stay, according to Jerpot, Rams, and Schindler 2001. Loyalty can be behavioral, such as repeat purchases, or attitudinal, which involve psychological commitment, according to Egan 2004. Besides, another study by Kim, Park, and Jong 2018 says high switching costs can retain customers despite low satisfaction. Meanwhile, Bolton, Cannon, and Bremlett 2000 says loyalty program enhance retention. As the comprehensive churn models considers various factors like service failures and usage patterns, according to An, Han, and Lee 2006. And recognizing partial defection helps in timely intervention to prevent total churn. So those are the literature reviews that relates with the customer churns and loyal perspective towards the telecom company service. In tackling the issue of customer churn in telecommunication industry, we have identified the problem domain, which is identify the key factors such as demographic, usage pattern, service types, and payment method is crucial. These factors significantly influence churn rates and can guide target retention efforts. Besides, evaluating customers' experience, including service quality and billing satisfaction, provides insights into how these factors impact loyalty and churn. by making predictive modeling, which can enhance the proactive churn management by identifying at-risk customers early on. This approach enables telcos to develop strategic initiatives that enhance the service quality, optimize customer engagement, and ultimately boost the retention rates based on the actionable insights from data analysis. Several past studies on previous works in telecommunication industry have explored factors influencing customers' loyalty and churn. According to Jerpot, Rams, and Skinler 2001, they proposed a two-stage model where customer satisfaction directly impacts loyalty, influencing contractual intention and potentially reducing churn. Next is Egan 2004, approaching by expanded on defining loyalty behaviorally through repeat purchases and attitudinally through psychological commitment. Meanwhile, Kim, Park, and Jong 2004 studied how high switching costs can mitigate the negative effect on lower satisfaction on loyalty. Meanwhile, Bolton, Cannon, and Bremlett 2000 found that the loyalty programs increase the retention by fostering positive perception despite competitive disadvantages. Last but not least is An, Han, and Lee 2006 developed a churn model integrating factors like service failures, complaints, and usage patterns using extensive data to validate this relationship empirically.
Hello, my name is Isaac, and for my part, I will be talking about the methodology. So we will start off with the first phase, that is data understanding. Data understanding refers to getting to know in detail of the data utilized in reaching a reasonable conclusion. Even though it may seem that it is not needed, it does help individuals avoid unnecessary omissions and confusion when moving on to the next steps. Coleman et al. 2016 mentioned that SMEs or small and medium-sized entities usually face problems of unfamiliarity of data analytics due to underqualified employees. This shows that data understanding is an essential and necessary step when it comes to data processing, not only for the purpose of general knowledge, but also in the workspace. Therefore, it is important that data is fully understood as it will help individuals to be more clear in what they are doing and what they plan to achieve.
Okay, so now we move on to the data preparation. So what does it mean by data preparation is that we use the raw data or the first primary data and convert it to be a data that can be readable and also a data that can be used for the analysis. Data preparation is crucial for the data analytics so that we know what we need to study and the materials we need to study. Data preparation also consists of narrowing the scopes of the data from the population to the sample and to the clusters. And now we move on to the data modeling. So what it means by data modeling? Modeling is that we convert the data to be a model so that we can see the outcomes of simulation of a real world. So data modeling means is that the data has been converted to a model that we can see as a data analyst to see the factors or from what that the data comes from, and also the outcomes of the data. It basically, data modeling will show us a diagram so that we know that from this A data, it creates a B data or a C data or anything that can show us an outcomes of the studies and the outcomes of the data itself.
Okay, now I will end the methodology part with the fourth phase, that is evaluation and deployment. Okay, with all the phases fully presented, all that is left is for the final step of processing, which is evaluation and deployment. Evaluation, it refers to evaluating whether the data generated is reasonable or not. And deployment refers to the application of the data after evaluation. Before utilizing the results of the data as proof, it is important for individuals to double confirm whether or not the data makes sense in terms of its values. That is, whether the value is too big or too small. Its graphical representation, which is whether the differences between variables are too drastic or not. And then the nominal values, which is whether the attribute names are understandable or not. and then the additional missing values, which is whether some values are overlooked or not, and other omissions. Therefore, before finalizing the result, it is important for individuals to double check and reconfirm the data before submitting it for research purposes. That is all from me. Thank you.
Alright, so we move to the 4.0 data pre-processing and exploration. So I will make sure you understand and we are ready to prepare the data. So after we run the program, the dataset, we get 21 variables from the dataset of customer churn towards the telco service. So I will divide to two parts, which qualitative and quantitative. So for the qualitatives, we get 18 qualitatives, which known also as nominal in the dataset. And for the next is quantitatives. So for the quantitatives, we only get 3, as indicates for numerical or ratio. So that's the understanding of dataset from we get here. Now my laptop is with me because now we need to prepare the data. So from here, the first step we need to open RapidMiner, because in this subject RapidMiner is very useful for this data set until we get the result. So after we retrieve the data of the customer churn towards the telco service, we get around 7,043 example. There are huge number here. So after we get the example, the second we need to select attributes. So for 21 variables is a lot for us. So we need to simplify it into 11 attributes. So we take from the operators, we take the select attributes. So next, for the third one, we identify that after we select attributes, we find out there is a missing value. So we need to solve this. So how? So we'll take the filter examples from the operator and we do some adjustment until we solve that. After that, we need to set role for the fourth step here. So we take the operators, we open the operators, we take the set role and we highlight the churn and customer ID. So everything is details here for us to look more and more. And the last one, we also identify there is an imbalance answer, which yes and no, and another one no service. So what are the solution from us? So we replace, we adjust it, which from no to no service. So easy for us to get a better result. And later you will see from this we look on the visualization, which later on will be explained by Ryan.
Thank you so much, Clarence. Okay, now let's start with the explanations of the 4.2, which is the exploration of data and visualizations. Now let's start with the first graph here. So we have the pie chart and it explains about the genders. So I can summarize where all the customer mostly is male. Moving on, we have a bar chart here. It explains about the gender and payment method preference. So first, the electronic checks, we can see most of the customer they prefer. Most of the customer is male where they prefer the electronic checks. The second one, we have the mail check where in this type of payments, mostly are male. The third one, we have bank transfer. We can see here that most of the customer is female. They prefer to use bank transfer. And the last one, we have credit cards. So between male and female, I can say that there are more male customer for they prefer to use the credit card rather than the female. Last but not least, let's take a look into the gender and churn data that illustrated in this bar chart. So first, let's take a look into the female. I can summarize that the churn no is higher comparing the churn yes for a female. And then in terms of the male, I can summarize that the churn no for female is higher comparing the churn yes. So in summary, when we do comparisons between male and females, I can say that the number of churn no between male and females, the male is higher. So the more loyalties goes to the male customer. So that's all for the data explorations and visualizations. Now we will moving on into the section 5. Section 5 for the build model and experiment, where in these sections I will only mainly talk about the machine learning models, the experimental designs, and also the result. So without further ado, let's dive into the machine learning models. So for the process or the machine learning models, we have choice or we decide to choose the predictive models, specifically the random forest. And also in terms of the data, since we have limitations, we only take 5 variables, which is churns, genders, internet service, payment method, and total charge. Moving on into the experimental designs, as you can see in these screens, where we have put the execute group assignment, which mainly focusing on the data that we have done previously. And then we put the optimized parameters, and then within the optimized parameter there's a split data. We set it between 80 and 20, and then we have put the random forest, our predictive models, the apply model, and performance. Okay, so in terms of the result, after we have done the process and we run it, then there are 3 main things that we gonna look into it, which is the accuracy, the precisions, and recalls. So for the accuracy, it is only recorded 80.62%, which it explains that only 80.62% can be accurately predicted from the overall data. Now we're moving on into the precisions, which it is recorded at 69%. So from the overall data, only 69% of the actual data of chance customer can be predicted. Now, in terms of the recalls, so this recall, it is recorded 49.20%. Therefore, it explains that only 49.20% of true data of the customer of chance can be predicted. So yeah, I think that's all for the result.
Hello, this is Isaac again. And for my part, I will continue on with evaluation and discussion, where the result that we get from the DSL internet service is that if male and female customers who pay a total charge of more than $906.175, and also especially if it is more than $3,266.25, the probability of the churn is 2.05% and 4.18% respectively. On the other hand, if male and female customers who pay a total charge of less than equal to $906.175, and also especially if it is less than equal to $152.925, they are loyal. Moving on, we have the fiber optic internet service. So in terms of the results, it says here, if male and female customers who pay a total charge of more than $1,645.625, and also especially if it is more than $3,643.025, they are churn. That is all from me. I will let Fikri to continue the rest.
Alright, thank you, Isaac. So we continue with the same discussion elements, which is the fiber optic internet service. If the male and female customer who pay a total charge of less or equal to $1,645.625, and especially when the payment was made using automatic bank transfer, credit card, or electronic check, then the customer are identified as loyal. And the other elements of discussion that we include is no-internet service, where if male and female customers who pay a total charge of more than $410.575, then they are identified as churn customer. Meanwhile, if male and female who pay a total charge that less than $85.775 or particularly less or maybe equal to $20.225, then we know that they are a loyal customer.
So as a conclusion, it is very crucial for any industries, especially for the service-based industries for telecommunication, to have the data analytics in their business, because it helps them to improve their business, to detect what's their weakness and their strengths that they offer to their customers, so that they can improve all the infrastructures, services, and reduce operation costs to maximize profit, and also meets the customers' needs. So my recommendation is that the companies can introduce or upgrade infrastructure so that their business will be much better, and also they can make a collaboration or partnership with others related companies to the service-based industries of telecommunications, so that they can reduce costs from there with the aid helps of others company. And last recommendation is that they can innovate the service plans towards their customers, so that the customers will receive a service that meets their needs and wants, and also at the same time the companies can make a profit. So from this we can see that it is crucial for the analytics to know which are the customers are loyal and which are not, and to know what is the variables of factors that contribute to the non-loyal customers, and to know factors that cause them to be not loyal. So that's all from us. Thank you.